So I think a lot of us has played Call of Duty at some point. Just like the other video where I talk about people have probably at some point you've played a Lego game. More on so I think most of us, if not all of us, have played a Call of Duty game at some point in our lives. I mean, my first Call of Duty was Modern Warfare 3. That was my first introduction to Call of Duty. If it was not that, it was World at War. But anyway, the earlier Call of Duties, when it spanned from Black Ops to World at War to Modern Warfare to even just the earlier Call of Duties before they even had a name, just like Call of Duty 1, 2, and 3, were all super awesome to play, especially as a younger audience. And for my generation that got to play it, it was very pivotal because at that point, games were trying to have an identity for themselves and try to create and explore and be innovative, whether that was trying to have better graphics, better mechanic, make things look realistic, whatever the case is. Most games, if not all, are trying to improve in that direction. And Call of Duty, I feel like it was one of those games where it was very innovative for not only a game as a lore, a theme, an idea, but as a community and to be in communion with others, whether it was online, talking shit to some random folks online, or even just having that group and those friends, and so the connections. And so Call of Duty has been pretty much a pivotal, pretty much a pivotal I don't even know how to say it. Like it is like on the Mount Rushmore of like games of all time. Everyone's played Call of Duty. Everyone's been infatuated by one. We have at some point had some people really like certain games, whether it comes from like Black Ops 2, which is a fan and everyone loves that, or even some of the more nuanced ones like Ghosts, where at that one point no one really liked Ghosts. In fact, it was mostly hated, and then later on it became where it was like we actually really like Ghosts, comparably to the newer games. Point is that there's a lot of anticipation, a lot of community hype behind a next Call of Duty installment or just Call of Duty anyway, because we came from really great Call of Duty games to now where it's just more nuanced and very half worked, different studios play in the mix. Games just have weird mechanics or whatever the case is. Call of Duty has kind of steeped into a questionable era of gaming where they're not so much, and this has been since 2019 that they've made a good Call of Duty that pivots the company in a great way, where the fans that look at it in a great way. And so, yeah, Call of Duty's just kind of fallen off. It's kind of, I mean, it's not really a surprising thing to say. Like, Call of Duty just isn't the same company it used to be. They used to make really great games with great lore, grounded in realism, and it's not too far-fetched. And even if it was, like, Infinite Warfare, that was still a really great game in a Call of Duty, despite most of the backlash, especially with Black Ops 3 and the double jump, the boosting and all that. Like it really has, there's a lot of talks between it, because even stuff as little as just gameplay mechanics can really take a turn and change a whole narrative and, commentary to what Call of Duty is, especially from the fans. Because I remember when Black Ops 3 came out, I was super in love with the game, but there was a lot of pushback because of the jump, jet boosting mechanic where you could double jump, which in most of every other COD that wasn't a thing. And so it's mostly, studios trying to make hybrids of trying to figure out what they can do to innovate the game and make it more entertaining, feel fresh, feel new to the community. And they thought jet boosting was one of those. But anyway, point being is that some companies try to find a way to make the game good, and then they also indirectly cause its controversy. And with Call of Duty, the last, I'd say, since since pretty much the entirety of the 2020s, Call of Duty has not really been innovative in a way that's meaningful, meaning that it's just kind of a rinse repeat of games all over. I mean, I haven't played a good Call of Duty since 2019 and actually been infatuated, enjoyed it, and was surprised by it. 2019 was the last Call of Duty I feel like took a very immersive step where it wasn't just a classic gun game where you're just shooting and doing stuff. There was actually there was realism tied to it. There was a sense of, realism, physics, everything to it felt grounded, when it came to the story, when it came to movement, how you moved around in the game, the time to kill, the lore of it, like it all stayed grounded, and it was true to like how Black Ops and Modern Warfare and stuff like that used to be, where it was a very relatable game where it's like it all made sense. It was all something you could be, zoned in and really appreciate without being like dissociated from the game because something happens. And so the newer games got, and the more games came out, it started to have that. Ghost, some people were like, this is kind of just really watered down version of Call of Duty. Ghost, Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 3, the the jet booster, the jump pack where you can double jump and all that. People had a lot of problems with that. So in the past 6 years, Call of Duty has just kind of had a very nuanced release era of just releasing games just for the fuck of it. I mean, they just do their yearly Call of Duty and then they just hope we eat it up. And unfortunately, a lot of us have not really bought into it as much. In fact, Call of Duty has dropped hard. I mean, the recent installment, Black Ops 7, which I don't even know how the fuck we're getting a 7th Black Ops installment. The last Black Ops I played and bought was 6. And that was because I was like, maybe Black Ops makes a comeback. I didn't play 5. I didn't play 4. I didn't play 5. Or Cold War, whatever you want to call it. I didn't play it. I'm like, how do you go from Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 and then continue on to make it good? It didn't seem that popular even on YouTube videos. Wasn't really garnering views. And even Black Ops 7, when that came out, there was a couple YouTubers that posted gameplay of them just playing multiplayer or just, a funny moments or whatever it's called. And it doesn't do well for views, which is shocking because Call of Duty is obviously a very well-known game studio and a well-known, or not even just a game studio, but a company that makes really innovative games and games that are very popular to a lot of us all. So Call of Duty having that fall off is a fucking sign that they maybe need to change their steps. Which brings us to the point of this video. Infinity Ward had recently made a post on Instagram or YouTube or whatever the case was, basically talking about like they did last year, where they want to stay grounded. They want to stay true to what it is and just keep with that motion because that's what makes Call of Duty Call of Duty. I'll read the post now. We are Infinity Ward, or Infinity Ward. I said Infinity Warfare, right? My stupid ass. We are Infinity Ward. We built visceral, immersive combat experiences that hit different. So fucking different. As a new chapter begins for the studio, we're focused on what defines us. Passion, precision, obsession, and unrelenting drive to make the best entertainment in the industry. Our next game is the result of that mindset. Determined, bold, relentless, built by a team pushing every detail, every system, every moment to its limit. On behalf of everyone at IW, we're proud of what we've been building and excited to finally start sharing that with you. Mark and Jack, Sooty Heads, Infinite Ward. Yeah, so they are very, very for sure confident that this next Call of Duty that they're whipping up is gonna stay true, grounded, realistic, visceral combat experience. All gonna be fucking. All gonna come so hard. They're very confident with that. Although literally last year, if not the year before that, they've been saying it for the past 2 years at least that they want to try to make changes and pivot it back, Call of Duty back into its realistic shooter, tone and vibe where it wasn't, too much crazy skins. I don't even know how to say it. Like they try to stay true to its realism, especially with microtransactions and a lot of the skin character packs that come with it, because you have fucking Nicki Minaj, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Homelander. Like it's like the Fortnite of Call of Duty of that world, and it's fucking sad to see because even when I was just saying that they were trying to say, yeah, we're gonna take it, and this was like a year or so ago, we're gonna go back to what makes Call of Duty Call of Duty. We're gonna stay grounded to realism. And then shortly after released the Fallout DLC skin pack for Call of Duty, which made no fucking sense. I'm like, you guys just made a whole fucking big deal about how you guys are going to stay true to what made Call of Duty without the viscerous amount of microtransactions, all the skin packs, even the open sandbox aspect to the campaign and their zombies. And they at least stayed true to round-based zombies in 6 and so on. But they literally don't stay on track with what they say. They literally are lying to us. They literally lied to us and said, we're going to stay true to what made Call of Duty, stay realistic. No skin packs, no more Nicki Minaj fat asses. We're not even going to do Cardi B for you guys. We're not going to do that. Are you guys ready for Fallout packs? Like, it was like, what are we doing? What, you guys just told us this. So, although this is a different game studio technically because you've had Sledgehammer and then whatever that other company is that worked with them. It was Sledgehammer, Treyarch, and then you have Infinity Ward. So you've had different studios work on different Call of Duties over time. So I get that it may not be consistent and that could be a viable excuse. But it still doesn't make sense that even with that, the past 6 years, we've had very nuanced games that have really done not that well. And as good as it should be for an innovative game studio, especially Call of Duty, with the amount of money they make. They have so much fucking money. How are you telling me that you cannot pivot your game to have to be better? It makes no fucking sense. But that comes at the cost of them having to risk losing money to hopefully gain money, which most game companies are just taking the direction where they don't want to really risk games. They just want to make a game and then just hopefully that their ROI is just, it's good. We don't want to spend too much money, but we want to make a lot of money, which isn't, this doesn't make sense. If you want to make a whole lot of money, some game companies take risks by putting in tons of money so that way if it comes out, it's in the best form it could be for an audience that could supply that money back and that ROI. Rockstar Games, they put over $1 billion in GTA 6. And we already know that's gonna be made back tenfold. I mean, is any of us gonna be surprised when it does make back its money? And in fact, if it does not make its money back when online comes out about a couple months later, the shark cards are already gonna do that. So again, we know that game companies can do that where they can take risks, put a lot of money into something for a good ROI. Rockstar fucking knows that. They're actually doing it. Infinity Ward, or not even Infinity Ward, Call of Duty as a studio or as a company itself doesn't want to do that too much because they know that their games are so rinse and repeat that they can't really take a next step without it being basically the same thing with just a new added couple things. Like basically Call of Duty is a glorified DLC pack. Modern Warfare 3 is its biggest example. I loved the OG Modern Warfare 3. It was my favorite Call of Duty of all time, and it still is. But the new Modern Warfare 3 that came out was so dog shit that I don't even think anyone liked it. I mean, no one, the only good redeeming quality of that game was just its multiplayer, which was okay. But again, it was just rinse and repeat of just Modern Warfare 2. And in fact, Modern Warfare 3 was supposed to be a DLC, or was supposed to be a DLC before they just changed it to just be its own full game, which it's again lazy and it's disrespectful because us fans in the community that really loved OG games and OG Modern Warfare 3 just got slapped in the face with a fucking half-ass DLC, full game, whatever you want to call it. And they just said, here you go. Enjoy it. $70. Fuck it. It's like, what are we doing? Is a company as a company of the most pivotal, most anticipated game, most played game of all time, up there with like Grand Theft Auto, Minecraft, stuff like that. They're not trying, which makes no fucking sense. This is Call of Duty, one of the biggest game studios, just biggest companies out there when it comes to making games. It's sad. It makes no sense. I wish we had an answer to why they're doing it this way. The only good answer is that they don't want to lose money, and they're probably at a point where they are starting to probably not make as much money as they used to. So they're not putting as much resources into it, hoping to still get back a lot of money, which it's not going to work. You got to take risks to make money, and I don't think they're going to do that. But I don't know. Maybe Infinity Ward might finally do something. Maybe we might get a good fucking game finally. And the only way they can come back, and I say, and I mean this wholeheartedly, if they want to come back, they have to make a good fucking game, which is no shit. But what is that good game? What is the next game? What is the next Call of Duty? Are we getting a Black Ops 12? Are we getting Modern Warfare 4? Like, what is the next Call of Duty, and how does it stay realistic? Which is obviously Infinite Warfare 2. Oh, fuck, no, fuck no. We're going back to space for part 2. No. My idea for what they could do is a World at War 2. That could be fucking moneymaker right then and there. Even if it was an intentional cash grab, that would still do good as a cash grab because World at War 2, which you can't fuck up a second one, you could absolutely make a World at War 2. Amazing campaign, amazing multiplayer, grounded to what the OG World at War had. Great fucking zombies, and you would make your fucking money. Holy shit. World at War 2 sounds fucking hard. And I'm not even fucking part of this game studio, and I just fucking threw that out of my ass. You could make great Call of Duty games again, but they won't. And for some reason, I don't know why. Hopefully Infinity Ward does that, but who knows. But that's about it. I just wanted to yap about it because I haven't made a video in a bit. I'm trying to figure out stuff content-wise to make videos on. And I saw that post yesterday, and I was like, oh great, here we go again. Another half-assed promise by Infinity Ward or Call of Duty itself to say, we're staying true to what Call of Duty is. Within a week, we're going to release Fallout skins and Cardi B. It's sad. I hope that, I mean, realistically, obviously, right? Ideally, we hope, and I hope that they make a great game and it fucking does well. That's what anyone wants, but realistically, is that going to be the case? Or are they just going to do another half-ass fucking DLC game, or goes back to just a bunch of microtransactions and characters and collabs and stuff and turns into another Fortnite. So I guess we'll see. We'll hope the best for it. But that was about it. I just want to talk about it because I saw the post and I want to make a video about it. So appreciate y'all stopping by. Talk to you guys.